Rest in peace, Greenlight. It is time to take the Steam games and bring them directly to you. What's good, Internet? My name is Attack Slug, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about what Valve has just announced. It is called Steam Direct. They are getting rid of the Greenlight process to bring new games onto Steam. Now, if you are not familiar with how games originally got on Steam years and years back, it was through a very careful curation process from people who actually worked at Valve. And what they found is that after a while, there was just too many people who wanted to get their games onto Steam, and they did not have the manpower to sort through all those games. So they introduced Greenlight. And with Greenlight, as an independent publisher or developer, you'd pay about $100, submit your game, you'd say, hey, fans of my game, or potential fans of my game, please vote, and you get enough votes, and then your game gets put on Steam. And that was both a good thing and a bad thing. And on the positive side, a lot of games that never would have seen the light of day on Steam got onto Steam, but on the negative side, a lot of games that never would have got on Steam totally got on Steam. And these days, trying to look at new releases on Steam to find something new or fresh to play is insane. I feel bad for anyone whose job that is, because there's just the volume of Steam games. They said in 2016 was responsible for like 40% of the games in Steam's lifespan. That's bonkers. And the principal problem there really was just how cheap it was to get in on the ground floor. Now, obviously, if you're an independent one dude coding in a bedroom, only having to pay $100 and get folks to vote on your game, if your game's awesome, it'll get through. The problem was, you would have people go onto the Unity store, they'd buy some assets, they would cobble together those assets, they would promise people free copies of the game to, increase their Steam library, and then once they got their game pushed through Greenlight, it would pay for itself through the trading cards. So you had companies like Digital Homicide just pushing through just tons and tons of garbage, and their bottom line as a company was through trading card money. Penny here, penny there does add up. Now, I'm not really sure how you would solve that particular conundrum, but what they've announced is that Greenlight in the spring is going away, and Steam Direct is going to replace that. And Steam Direct will require you as a publisher or developer, and I'm going to read here off of their press release, to complete a set of digital paperwork, personal or company verification, and tax documents similar to the process of applying for a bank account. Once set up, developers will pay a recoupable application fee for each new title they wish to distribute, which is intended to decrease the noise in the submission pipeline. So to me, that says that it can't be $100. It has to be higher than that. And there are going to be arguments on either end of the spectrum as to what a fair price would be. Personally, I think that if you're going to do it this way, I think a scalable price would make sense. So hey, maybe charge $100 for your first game, and then like $250, and then $500. If you are being successful, if your games are recouping that money and then making you profit, that shouldn't be a problem as your company grows. But if you are an asset flipper just trying to make money off trading cards, ever increasing pricing on putting out new games on Steam would definitely deter that. Because if you don't expect to make at least $1,000 over the course of that game's lifespan, perhaps you shouldn't be publishing it on Steam. There's itch.io, for example. Now, obviously, I am not a game developer, I'm not a programmer, I'm not a publisher. Perhaps this is all just over my head, but what I do know is that there is way too much garbage on Steam, and you can make the argument, oh, well, the cream rises to the top, and it's like, yeah, it does, but even with the discovery queue, it is extraordinarily difficult to find new games that could be interesting without having to wade through 500 pieces of crap. And I can certainly empathize that games are expensive to make. YouTube here is expensive to get things right. And certainly video games are an order of magnitude larger than that. So I think this scalable pricing would be the smartest thing. But also, that could fit in perfectly as a Kickstarter stretch goal. Say, hey, you want to get us on Steam, here's the fee to get on Steam, it's $1,000. So when we get past that extra $1,000 past when the game's getting made, guess what? Automatically, you get on Steam, easy peasy. All I can hope is that this Steam Direct will cut back on the sheer volume of shovelware and asset flips and just general games that really nobody wants to buy, no one wants to play, and while they might find a home on other platforms, they're just clogging up Steam from things that I should be seeing instead. And I say this as someone who has, at this point, pretty close to 700 games in my Steam library. But as a very important side note, not that Valve is going to listen to me, but as a very important side note, I seriously hope they've considered that, look, whatever this fee is, whatever you do with this fee, it needs to be regionally priced. Because say, hey, charging $1,000 American is not the same as that price in the rest of the world. So regionally price that and make sure to VPN lock that stuff. So, hey, you can't go, I'm going to just sign in and get charged prices from Russia and then just spam more crap onto the Steam store. No, don't do that. In any event, I'll be very curious to see how this affects Steam moving forward this year and into the future. Will the current flood of games slow down to a trickle, or will it get even worse? Although, honestly, I'm not sure how it could get any worse than it currently is, because there's just so much junk on there right now. I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, I'm Attack Slug. Those are my thoughts on Steam Direct. Thanks for watching. Sub to this channel, sub to the main channel, all that usual YouTube mumbo jumbo. I'll see you next time, right here on this channel and the main channel. And I'm out!